much money, if any, because I can't go out and shop and looking online for things. I'm not really good at buying things that I can't touch. So what happened with those restrictions that I had created for myself was I said, okay, I don't think that Zen streamlined look is going to happen. Let's look around and let's try something else. Because the other limitation I placed on myself was I really wanted to keep the bedspread that I have in there, if possible. Although I had other alternatives that were offered, I just like this spread. There's something comforting about it. So then I gave over to that and said, let's work around the bedspread. What have you got? And I realized I had a chair in another bedroom that would work perfectly in that room. I had a dresser with a mirror, an old dresser with a mirror that I had just placed against a wall that I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to use that. So I'll move it around. And then I opened up my one of my guest rooms. I have a lot of my art that's not on the wall is stored in there. And I took everything out and I looked and I found art to put on the wall, because what I have in my house is like an art gallery. Every wall has some sort of original art on it, just because I like that. So with that in mind, I created, and then I talked to my daughter, my older daughter, and I told her about plants, and she goes, oh, Mom, that's so weird. I just replied to this guy on Craigslist who said he has some house plants. He said, let me see if I can get him to send me pictures of what he's got. So he sent her pictures of what was available. And I said, oh, I like that one, and that one. And so she went over to San Francisco, picked them up, and brought them here. So I had houseplants. So
Awesome.
with all of that, I have before and after pictures I can show you.
Cool.
So Marlena, you need to set it up so that you can let me share the screen.
Okay, hold on here.
Okay. Whoops. Okay, you need to do something.
Let's see here.
Just minimize that. And minimize. I'm getting your screen right now.
Okay.
You need to go to the participants thing and let me share screen. I don't know how you do that, but I've done it, but I don't know how to tell somebody else to do it. Let me try share screen. Okay. You've disabled attendee screen sharing, so you need to enable it. Or I have another option. I'm just going to move into that room and show you what it looks like now. If I can, while have you figured it out yet, Marlena?
I'm still working on it.
Okay, you are viewing Marlena's screen. View options. I want to request remote control. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Request, no, I don't want to control your screen. I want my own screen. Now you have to, I think, back in that beginning, you have to go in and enable screen sharing.
I think before you start, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
So with that in mind, what's this over here? Swap shared screen with video, and I don't want to do that. So shall I turn it so you can see the room? Yeah. Okay, let me close this up. So when you walk in the room, okay, this is a weird, it's weird to do this. Okay, so it's going to be hard to see because of the light from outside, but what I created originally over here was just a dresser. Yeah, that's not working very well. Get better light. Close. I think we're going to have to go to the photos when you figure out how to screen share. This here used to be just a dresser sitting there, and now I have added a really comfortable barrel chair, if you can see
Love
that.
it.
And it, and it swivels, and then a really tall Dracaena, and then a piece of art, a watercolor that I really love that was painted back in the early 70s by a prisoner at Folsom Prison.
Wow.
So
And
try
what it
the
is,
try
say
the
what?
screen share now.
Oh, now it says share screen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But all I have is your screen.
Oh, we said all participants.
Okay, so let me see if I share. I don't want to share advanced
Yeah, we
files.
checked
Yeah.
all participants.
See, I've got your desktop, whiteboard, iPad, and cable. I don't want
Multiple
the.
participants can share simultaneously.
Okay, let me try this. Yeah. Let me see if I can get back to share screen. Let me. Now I don't know how to do it then because it shows me your 4 screen options. Let's see, basic, advanced, portion of screen, files, OneDrive. Nope. I got your stuff. I'm going to close that down. Let me see. Share screen. No. Wonder how do I do that? Gallery view, next view. Yeah, see this, when I click share, I share your screen.
Because I clicked multiple participants
Mm-hmm.
and use the screen.
Let's see. But we're using your screen, not our screen.
Anybody know how to make that happen?
I don't.
So we just continue with FaceTime?
I'm so new to.
Yeah, let's see, meeting view. Window. Yeah. Start share, let's see. Nope, it keeps pulling your screen up.
Share screen. So down below, Helen,
Uh-huh,
where it says share down below,
uh-huh.
if you click on it, another box should appear.
Nope, I'm
And
not.
when you're not getting that.
No,
Okay.
what the box that I get is Marlena's screen of 4 choices of desktop, whiteboard, iPad, and
Camera.
iPhone.
Okay. So if you click on Marlena's screen, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So usually when that box comes up, you should be able to toggle in between. So if you
Yeah.
go to the desktop, you're going to see your desktop and you should be able to toggle in between. But for whatever reasons,
Okay,
my
got it.
screen and is locked
Okay,
in.
I got it. That was perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so here is the before.
Okay.
Can you all see that?
No.
No,
Oh,
let's see, I'm viewing Yvette's screen right now.
okay.
Let me get out of here. I'm so sorry. I was trying to see if I could somehow.
I've got it. I'm sharing the screen.
Exit.
And I've got Yvette's face, but I've got a room. You are sharing screen.
Okay. Stop sharing.
Yeah, mine says that I'm viewing. Oh, now we got your screen, Helen.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Yay!
sabotaged Marlena's screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is what the room looked like when you entered it. So you can see the dresser, you can see the stuff, and to the left, you can see a work table that I had. Now I have to go back to the other pictures. Let's see. And this is the part that I got to make this small, I guess. Close that and then go into entry number 2. So this is then how I changed it. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that is so soothing. It has
Mm-hmm.
the like feeling that you wanted with the
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
And
that's
then
beautiful.
the next was let's see. This was the close-in view of where the work table was and the dresser and my cat. And then from there, let's see, close that down. I'm glad I numbered these. This is what it looks like now.
Oh, that's so beautiful. So
So
relaxing.
on the left is the dresser at an angle in the corner with a new plant on the left. And on the right, I don't have a close-up of it, but it's an old waffle batter and syrup ceramic
Oh, yeah.
pots that have sunflowers on them.
Remember we
So
found
then,
those when we were talking?
yep,
We
yep.
ran to the kitchen going, oh yeah, I've got the perfect thing.
Uh-huh. And there it was. And then if you can see where my cursor is right now, this then is an oil painting of sunflowers in a bluish vase. That's the blue in this room, the colors in this room. And my next door neighbor who passed away, who's a good friend of mine who passed away about 3 years ago, had painted that.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And
nice.
then right above it and to the right is a painting with the identical frame that my granddaughter had done a couple years ago.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow.
that just, it just showed up.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's just, I come in here every day now and I just sit. And my
That's
cat
what you
sits on the
wanted.
chair and
Yeah.
there's a hummingbird feeder out there and, it's very peaceful.
That is so perfect.
Isn't it?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And
You did a
then,
great job.
well, thank you. And then here was kind of how, looking to the west in that room then where the work table was, then you can see, let's see, we'll go to that's just, the corner again.
Wow, what a difference.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
And this room is fairly large and it just makes it feel even larger. Then let's see, number 7. So this is the wall that just has the bed. And all that. And that was the bedspread that I wanted to maintain.
I do like that.
Isn't it cool? I just love it.
Pretty.
It's quilted. It's like that. It's like old washed denim. That
Yeah.
how that just makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And let's see. And now here's what I did.
Oh, wow.
Now the art didn't show up very well because of I've got so much great light in this room and it's always on glare.
Very
But
nice.
this is a photograph that actually I can show you when I'm in here. I love it. It is a photograph of an old rustic log cabin with one of those red wooden or old wooden chair in front of it that the artist painted red after she had taken the photograph.
Wow.
And then it has an old stump that next to it with an old tea kettle. And I bought that in New Mexico and when I was in Santa Fe a couple years ago. I just fell in love with it and spent time talking with the artist. And then the picture in the middle is another old chair. And this one is, let's see, I have to look. I'm pretty sure it's the watercolor. It's a watercolor and acrylic, I think, or tempera or something. And anyway, I fell in love with that. I bought that from the Oakland Museum when they do their fun garage sale every year, their big fundraiser. And the frame has the rustic blue of the bedspread with distressed red in it.
Perfect.
So the frame, it just went perfectly. And then the other is this really cool cat that I just loved. It was just bright. And I have I have a blue dog on a red background that I wanted to have in here, but it just didn't work. So I can stop sharing now.
That
Anyway,
was so amazing. Talk about transformation.
so I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, yeah. You see the red chair,
Mm-hmm.
the stump.
I didn't.
Yeah,
It's still got glare on it, but it's just really, it's a very soothing photo.
yeah.
And it's been sitting on the floor in my guest room for years. Well, for the last couple of years. And I go in and look at it, but
Yeah. Wow.
Anyway, so that's what I did, and I love it.
Is that so amazing? Oh, you did a great job just transforming that space.
Thank you. And I didn't have to buy anything.
That's even
Even
better,
better.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, those 2 plants, but my daughter gave those to me.
yeah. And did she have a chance to stay in the room since you've rearranged it?
She didn't spend the night. I just came down on Friday for the day. But she loved how it felt. She said, this
Excellent.
just really feels good. So, Yvette, my daughter just got a job with the Department of Education about a month ago.
Wow,
So
congratulations.
she's been commuting from the Bay Area occasionally to come to work. And then, which has been great because then she spends the night here.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So it's Department of Education here in Sacramento?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. She's working
Okay,
in the
perfect.
Fiscal Services Division as a consultant with their attendance reporting.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that kind of stuff. I actually do consulting with the Franchise Tax Board.
Uh-huh.
And before I took this role that I'm in now, I actually did a project for them in terms of implementing an attendance. It was more like an absence management program, what I kept referring it to, but tracking non-job protected medical leave of absences. So I love that whole arena with
Oh,
attendance.
yeah.
I have an in-depth knowledge of FEMLA, CFRA, EEO, the federal side, rehabilitation. Mhm. So, yeah.
Wow.
And the
Well,
new
and
Awesome.
Lauren's learning now in the age of COVID, and the age of, let's say, reduced tax revenues,
Mm,
Mhm.
what they're going to have to do to be able to help schools survive.
mhm.
Wow.
Because the
Well, I'm
ADA is being impacted
Yeah,
significantly.
yeah.
So it's perfect for her. She was a private school teacher for years and then got her doctorate in educational leadership last year and wanted to work in policy areas. And
Mhm.
and so I think this is just a perfect way to start
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you have to understand the foundation of how schools get their money before you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Marlena, you have a background in education, but weren't you in that department or some?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. It was really cool to see kind of Lauren kind of go through, the steps to get her doctorate and in the midst of everything, working full time and raising a kid and, having a husband, all of that. And, it was
On
just
top
amazing
of
to
the
see this
pandemic.
woman. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Well,
Anyway.
thank you so much, Helen, for sharing. And I think we all really got your enthusiasm and your passion for what you've created. And is there anything you'd like to share, Yvette, with your feelings on what you saw?
Yeah. So I really admired how you put the photos together. So one of the things that I sometimes struggle with is I want everything to look uniform. So when it comes to like photos or pictures, I want it somehow to all bring it in. I'd not once thought of it being okay to put different types of art,
Mm.
abstracts, what have you, so long as they pull in from one another.
Mhm.
I like that idea. And when I saw that, that almost opened up another part of my mind in terms of how I want to do the art. You also mentioned something that every wall in your house has art on it because you love art. I too love art, but it's not all over my walls because I'm not quite sure how to place it. So you've given me some ideas in terms of how to stagger it. I'm also one of those people, when I see things, I want straight lines. And so I think it's a little OCD, maybe, trying to make sure that everything is aligned. But I really like that concept. But I think you did a great job with that room. It's very peaceful. You feel it when you walk in. And the difference was a complete, as Marlena said,
Yeah.
transformation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
With art, I think, and
Okay.
yet once I find a thread of
Okay.
why something is there, for me, it's because the art is there for me. If you happen to like it, great.
Yeah.
It's up there because it's my house and I look at it. And if it really, if like you lived in my house and it really bothered you, then I would say, okay, let's step back and let's figure it out. My husband is very OCD. So I have to, I have to keep that in mind. But I am too. I don't want things crooked. But I do like things to be, it's easier to have them uneven than it is to have them even. That's
Looks like you could get more wall too. Because
I've
that
got
wall
wall all over the house.
yeah, above the bed frame,
Mm-hmm.
that wall is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, okay, what could you put up there? And when you showed the 3 pictures, it
Mm-hmm.
completely took up that wall.
Yeah.
So I like that.
And it was Marlena's idea to bring the cat over. I had the cat on the wall in that corner where there's, by the bed where there's nothing. So when you walk in, you'd see the cat. And she said, why don't you try moving that over and doing 3? Because it's always the rule of 3 or an odd number is
I didn't know that.
an important thing to remember when you're planting or when you're putting art up.
Okay.
Marlena's going.
Yeah.
And it worked. At first, it was like I was struggling because that cat has an entirely different kind of frame and it has an entirely different set of colors. But it really doesn't, because it has the red from the chair on the left. And it picks up the red that's in the frame that you can't see when the photos that I've taken, but it just all goes together. And the 3 frames are so different. If they're kind of the same, sometimes it doesn't work.
I think maybe that's what my problem is then. Because I'm getting frames like how you had the 2, the one you got from Folsom and auction, and then, from an inmate, and then your granddaughter. I think sometimes when I try to match the frames, it doesn't look right. So I'm going to probably go with the opposite and see if I like the painting, put it in 2. I have 2 paintings in mind right now that I want to try to do with that. But you said that it's the rule of 3.
Yep.
Okay. It's the rule of odd numbers, actually, right?
Yeah.
Marlena?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 3 is really popular. It's really popular for any kind of arrangement, whether it's candlesticks or whatever. It's odd numbers. But 3 is really popular, like small, medium, and large. Variation of size is really intriguing.
Okay, that sounds great. Okay.
Well, thank you again, Helen, for
you're welcome.
coming forward and being the first to do your little show and tell. That's so cool.
I wanted to get my money's worth, Marlena.
Exactly. Hold on, I've got a message from Nikki. She's trying to get on, so I'm going to pass this over to Bill so I can finish up with you guys. Can you send? We need to send an invitation to Nikki because she's available now, but she can't get on. So can you? Okay, sorry about that. It's always nice to have somebody who's moderating. That's what I've understood. My daughter does stand-up comedy, and now she's doing it on Zoom. And everybody said, get a moderator, so you don't have to think about that. You can just do your thing while somebody else is doing the technical stuff.
Very smart.
Well, can you do that from? Okay, I'm going to have to let Yvette go next, and
Okay.
yeah, so we can see what's up.
Okay, so when I had talked last week, I wanted to do something with this room. I didn't want it to be a dumping ground, and I wanted to make it more welcoming because it's the only bedroom on the first floor. I wanted people, if they did sneak back there and happen to take a look, I didn't want it to look cluttered. I didn't want it, there's a bed in there, there was everything in there. And then so I kind of started moving things around because I was pretty excited. And fortunately, my son just moved home, so I have a garage full of his furniture. So it's like I found a couple of lamps, and I haven't put them in there, but I do want to show you what I'm working with because I started cleaning out that room and it felt so good. So I actually have it in a position to where now I can see what I'm working with, and I'm going to show you what I have.
Awesome.
So I'm going to go here to my email, and I'm going to actually bring up 2 photos. So this is going to be the first one. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I hope that you're able to see this. So let's see if I can
Can
bring
you
it up.
share the email? Share the email file?
Yeah.
Where am I? Let's see. I can see my picture, but
There
I
you
don't
go.
see.
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is the room right now. I have another one that I'm going to show you from the other angle. So this is kind of a bigger view of it.
Okay.
So I kind of mentioned that my father-in-law came to visit. I'm doing the bedspread different, but I'll start with this one. So basically, this room is beautiful. It's not anything gigantic. It really is just a bedroom, but I wanted to make it more welcoming. So with regards to this room, there's a chair in the corner that belonged to my father-in-law. And I'm going to see if I can bring it
Yeah,
up.
I love that chair. It's beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Beautiful.
So this one right here was belonged to my grandmother, and I had it reupholstered. And so this is kind of something I just kind of would like to pass down to my daughter, and hopefully she keeps it in her family. But it's beautiful. It's very antique-ish. In the opposite corner, what I was trying to bring up, and I don't know if my photo came through, but there's another chair from my husband's side of the family. And the chair used to belong to the grandfather, and we have it in the opposite corner. But my intent with this room, I'm sending myself another photo, but my intent with this room is to probably change out the bedspread so that it can go with this painting up above it.
Yes.
I'm sending myself another photo. I thought it went through, but mine worked crazy. That's one. Let's see what 2 looks like. So I don't know if you could kind of see this painting above the bed. So what I have designed for this room so far, I'm going to swap out that tacky little black 3 lamp thingy. I'd like to keep the painting. That painting was from one of my good friends. I think I want to try and find 2 small paintings put on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The bedspread, swap out, that doesn't need to be in there. And then if you, the dresser, I didn't want to put the mirror up because that's such a beautiful window, and I actually have it, the blinds drawn so that the sun can come through. But it's such a great, nice, big window. I didn't want to put anything there. I don't know if you're able to see, but in the very corner, the right, down below, there was a cedar chest in that room.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I wasn't sure what to do with it. You can barely see it. Here's the photo that I'd like to send you guys, actually. I did take it. And that cedar chest I'd like to keep in there. But this is the room I'm working with. And before this photo, believe it or not, there was boxes. It was just like a storage area. It was gross. And so now it's kind of, I have some, oops, zoom out. I have some things that I'm trying to do differently with it. I did find these little jars a while ago, and I'll keep it because the orange kind of pulls in with the painting. But that's kind of what I'm working with. So
Yeah.
it's not too bad. I just have to pull it together. Oh, and I'm shopping for another bedspread because this is the room that gets really dark during certain parts of the day, and I'd like to lighten it up because it does feel a little bit cold. I think somebody mentioned last time when the energy, I'd like to shift the energy in that room so that it's welcoming. So that's what I'm working with.
Yeah.
Let me save this other photo through. I don't know if it did, but oh yes, here it is. One more photo I'm going to show you. So this is from the front. Oh, there's one of my little blue boxes I had yet to take out. But this is kind of what I'm working with. And it's nice, but it's not. And then these guys were in there. I was like, let me take this out so I can take the photo. But I wish I'd left the before in because it really was progress.
Yeah.
And that's the cedar chest there. So these guys, the two little bears, Mr. and Mrs., are no longer in there. And then, and they're huge. It's ridiculous. They're like 5 feet tall. They don't give it any justice here. So yeah, I'm open to ideas, and I have a general sense of how I want to do that room. I just need to put it together. So, but yeah, cleaning was the first thing. I'm telling you, it was quite the task to get in there. It was a nice break for me to be able to
Good.
and
Good.
tackle it. Mm-hmm.
Use it
Well,
as
and a great accomplishment too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah,
love
the
I
closet.
love that bed that you have.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
The sleigh frame, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
How you're talking about a new spread for on there that will maybe pull colors from that gorgeous piece of art that you have above.
Thank you. That was from my girlfriend. Oh man, she's quite the artist. But I did try looking online. I was on Macy's. I went to Nordstrom. I logged into Hotlook, Nordstrom, trying to find like a really light color bedspread. But I found more that had peach in it, and I don't know if I wanted to do the peach route. I don't know how I feel about the color peach. Probably because when we moved into our house, every wall and ceiling in this house was peach. So I didn't, it was awful. Trust me, it was awful. So I didn't want to reintroduce that color back into the house but if it's subtle enough, I think it's okay. I know I'm being probably a little neurotic in that area in terms of what I want to do.
Your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your house.
Thank you. So yeah, so that's where I was. I'm gonna stop sharing now. So that's kind of where I was with that.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, like Helen said, you have a lot of choice, especially using that painting above the bed, to like choose a complementary, bedspread or comforter or duvet or something that will and if you wanted to bring in some of the other colors, you could use some, like toss pillows for bringing in the other colors. But if you had like a basic color, and maybe, like you said, maybe a lighter color, just to kind of keep that warmth and openness and have it look spacious in there and welcoming. And I see your dilemma about the peach thing. What other colors are in that painting? Because it looked like it was some orangish kind of.
Orange, purple, some browns. Let me see. There were purples, browns. I can probably pull, and the orange was the most I wanted to go. There's a very, very, very light color, maybe blue in there. Yeah, maybe I can work off of those colors.
Yeah.
You said that room gets hot.
It gets dark.
Oh,
and
dark.
Yeah,
Okay.
it gets really dark in here, and I'm looking at so if I show you this, I don't know if you can see it, but that
Yeah.
there's some dark browns, rust colors, like a little blue, maybe a hint of turquoise. I could even pull that turquoise out, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that blue is really pretty because you have it in the sky. And is that some water there too?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or a slate blue going toward the grays of the blue. I
Yeah.
I don't know how true blue the picture really is, but
Mhm.
because I'm looking at the gorgeous wood on your furniture.
Oh, okay.
And I think that blue or slate blue would really enhance the richness of the wood stain.
The wood, yeah. And I really love even that purple on the pillows. It's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of dark wood.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that's really
My
beautiful.
stepdaughter just left, but because I thought I was going to do purple, I actually did. I have these little purple pillows, but it's still quite not doing something to there's something missing in this room. But you know what? I think I am going to try and play with those blues. I never noticed them.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
So sweet. Yeah, I never really noticed that, nor did I think to even try and play with those colors. So thank you.
I also love that chair. That was your grandmother's, the one that you got a poster. So there
Mhm.
might be some colors from there that are complementary to the painting that you could um, highlight. And maybe you've already done it with the pillows that you have in there. But I'd love to see how that chair could be, I want to say just kind of focused, just kind of amplified because it's beautiful and it's kind of one of a kind
Okay.
and really special. So,
I was thinking about maybe swapping the furniture from where the little rocking chair is to where the big Dawn's big chair. So swapping the ends
yeah,
and then putting that little dresser next to it. So it kind of because it's kind of small like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
figured it would look okay together, not
yeah,
disproportionate, if you will. And so I was gonna, and then just have Dawn's big because that chair is pretty big, the striped one that's in there, and the rocking chair and the Dawn's father's chair actually match really well. They go together.
Oh,
mm,
So I'll have to do something with
yeah,
that.
yeah. You
Okay.
just have a lot of really beautiful pieces there, and that dark wood looks, really nice and something that you can really complement.
space-wise, Yvette, I don't know if you have it or not, but the rocking chair, I have a foldable rocking chair that's cane back that was my grandmother's, and I fold it up a lot and just stick it in the corner, but I decided I wanted it out again. And I stuck it in a corner to the left of the bed
Okay.
because and so you have it right now. If I were standing from the foot of your bed looking, you have it on your left side. You might want to think about moving it to the right,
Yeah.
and then it would be balanced with the big chair that you have on the right
Other
side
end.
of the dresser of the lowboy,
Excellent idea.
Yeah.
because rocking chairs take up a lot of space, but you
Yeah.
don't want it to take up space in your walkway.
Correct.
Yeah.
You have to play around with your end tables and all, but
Okay.
or nightstands, but that might also work.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah. And then that way it kind of amplifies that chair too, because
Hmm.
you'll
Because
see it.
that'll be the first thing you see when you walk in. It'll be in
Yeah.
this corner and it'll
Yeah.
pop right out.
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then the colors that Marlena was suggesting that are in that, in uh, the fabric on the back of the rocking chair will show up much better when you pull from them on some throw pillows or something that might be in your bedspread. But I would think a non-busy bedspread would be the direction you
Mhm.
want to go.
Yeah.
Agree totally on that.
Yeah. Because that painting just really takes the cake, it's just like really
So beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
What size is that bed?
That's a queen.
A queen. Okay.
Yeah. That's a queen. And
Because I have a bedspread that might look really good in your room, but I think it's a king, and I need to get rid of it.
mm,
It's just sitting in a bag
Who knows? Who
in a
knows?
closet.
back in the day, we used to have like these clothes swaps. We should
Yeah.
do like decor swaps where we
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
over and it's like, oh, I like that.
Well,
Let's
that
just
is an option that Marlena had on her survey I saw.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing. Wouldn't that be so much fun?
yes.
I was kind of visualizing my backyard where we could like set up tables and just everybody bring their stuff. And I went to a clothing swap probably about 5 or 6 months ago, and it was so much fun. And I had this thing, it's like, well, if I only bring 5 items, do I only get to choose 5 items? They said, no, just choose whatever you want. So, but everybody was really respectful with what they took, and what they brought. And so it was just a awesome event. So I was just kind of thinking, wouldn't that be so much fun?
Yeah.
Because we get tired of stuff or something doesn't match anymore or whatever, whatever's going on. Yeah. So
That's a
thank you
great
for the segue, Helen. I wanted to just touch base real quickly for the survey that I sent out to you guys. And again, thank you, Yvette, for kind of jumping in, like,
Yeah.
in midstream and just boom, getting it done on top of everything else you're doing, working on your master's and working full time. And,
Thank you.
so just wanted to acknowledge you for just letting it rip.
This is a really nice change of pace,
Yeah.
considering everything that's going on.
Yeah.
This just kind of broke whatever path or cycle that I was on in terms of just focus. So
Yeah.
thank you for bringing me back to earth. And my surroundings, my poor husband, I was like, yeah, when the whole pandemic hit, we let the house cleaner go. And so it's like, yeah, I'll get to that. So it's like, it's a lot. So,
Mhm.
so cleaning out that room was quite the accomplishment. So
Excellent. I'm glad you feel that
Cheers
way
to
about
you.
it. Yeah,
thank
you
you,
did
Helen. Thank you.
it. Awesome. Well, hey, it's a little bit after 11. I know we got a super late start with all the technology kind of stuff. But if you have a few more minutes, I wanted to see if I could just spend like less than 5 minutes kind of going over the survey in case you guys have any questions about any of the things I have on here. That again, I wanted to acknowledge you, and I wish Nikki was here too. And Nikki wants to have all of us go out together and meet each other in person.
Love it.
That'd be good.
I would love it. I already think you're such an amazing person, Helen.
Oh, thank you, Yvette.
Yeah.
You said a lot of
Absolutely.
things. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's very kind of you.
Speak my language.
I
So
know.
thank you.
I know so many amazing people. Every person that I hang out with is amazing. Otherwise, I would not be hanging out with them, right?
That's right.
And it's like, I've got to have an opportunity to start connecting all these incredible human beings together,
Mhm.
and sometimes when we have gatherings, not everybody can make it or whatever, but I thought this is kind of, for me, kind of a selfish thing, just like having my best buds around to like, be part of this and just, it just means a lot. So thank you.
Thank you. I would love that. We
Mhm.
can go
Yeah.
to consignment shopping.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was another idea I had on here too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have the survey up. I have a hard copy here because I just kind of printed it out. But if there's a chance that you guys could get this to me in the next couple of days, I'd really, really love it. And that way I can start working on designing the next thing, kind of based on the feedback that I get from you guys. But it's just the regular kind of information in terms that I probably already have, but just kind of name and email address and all that. And I would really love if you could like identify some positive words or phrases that you would use to describe the course. That's one of the questions. And like, what was the favorite part of the course? So, and why? And so, you may have some, and there could be more than one answer on these too. So,
Okay.
so don't feel restricted in any way. And I'm curious too about any feedback you have on the course materials, like what was helpful, what didn't work, what would you like to maybe see more of or less of, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And part of it too is just kind of rating your knowledge about kind of before and after, and hopefully they're just in 3 short sessions that you guys got a glimpse of seeing things differently that help you kind of get more of what you want and just see outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
The other cool thing, like Helen alluded to, was the future opportunities. And I would love to like kind of keep this kind of thing going, because there's a certain energy when you're turned on to creating and to having what you love. And that's been my goal for this course, was just to have people just love the space that they're in and know that you created it and that we can be part of that. So any other things that you would be interested in, please just let me know on the survey. And if you come up with some other ideas, I mean, I was thinking like how much fun it would be to like rent a bus or a van and just take a bunch of us to consignment stores, like just make a whole huge circle of consignment stores that I know about that are great, that I use for staging and getting accessories and stuff. I mean, just, you know, the active mind is just really active. So at any rate, just let me know what kinds of other things you would love to do, and we'll take a look at what else, you know, we can create beyond this. And the bottom line question too that I had mentioned in our first session too is, you know, what I would be needing from you or asking from you guys is like, how much would you pay for this course?
Okay.
And I wanted to, you know, just kind of have an entry level thing. And Helen and I talked about it in the beginning, and she made the phrase, yeah, so we have some skin in the game. And I thought, okay, because originally I thought, oh, okay, we'll just make it free. And then, you know, it's like, no, just have a little skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for participating in that way. But, you know, just from what you guys have experienced, like in 3 sessions, because that's probably what I would want to replicate in any other course, DIY course. You know, what would you pay for this if you were like, given that you've been through the process, you know, maybe you didn't even know what you wanted, and through the process you found out what it was for you that you really wanted. So I want to say, well, like, what kind of price tag would you pay on that, you know, to have that experience of transforming a space and having it be a space you love?
If you don't mind, really, hey, stop it. So unfortunately, I missed the first class, and I'm so sorry for that. I thought the second and the third, the last class, very valuable, because for someone like myself who has I don't want to say no creativity, I really do, but I just don't know how to bring it together. This class afforded the opportunity to be able to understand what you look for as an expert, what catches you. I didn't know about the picture frames from today. I didn't know about mix matching. I knew about the colors, but that's only because I stole them off Pinterest in terms of how you pull colors in to kind of just bring it all together. And the second class, the last course, I really appreciated how you told us to look for what is the first thing that you see. I keep thinking of the round mirror in the bathroom and how there were other round things. That's valuable. And if I think of this course, anything like the paint night, the flowers that you put together, you're easily going to be paying $45, $50 for a class. So double what I would suggest, double what whatever you had in mind. I even think that's a little inexpensive, but I don't know if people realize what they're going to get, the full scope. For me, this was valuable. And like I said, I compare it to the DIY nights that they're doing now online or in person, paint night. They do succulents, gardens, or what have you. So
Mhm.
that's how I think of it. And then maybe some of those classes can get very expensive. So maybe just see where the interior design, where it would fit more appropriately when it comes to those list of classes, and maybe do a comparison, because that's the paint night, that's 45. But I've never
Mhm.
tried the succulent classes, and those get more expensive. They get up there like $80, $85
Wow.
Mm.
for a class. And then there are Groupons. I mean, if that's something that you would ever consider, I mean, I think that could generate some great business for you. An
Yeah.
online DIY through Groupon, typically an $85 value, yours only for 45, or however you want to do that.
Ooh,
Um,
you're good, Yvette.
oh,
I
You're
sorry.
good.
know. I'm thinking, I'm
That, something
taking
like that.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback.
yeah.
Marlena, there's a couple things related to that. I have no idea about cost. You know, I lived as a public servant my whole life, you know, so it was just like, you just do it. So
Yeah.
I like what Yvette said. And I think I like the points of reference that you used of the painting, the painted cork thing and all that. Um, I also think that this strategy of having 3 sessions, at first I thought it was 4. I misunderstood. And I thought, okay, I need 4. That's a whole month. And then when it was 3, it was like, I don't know. And then I realized that that's exactly what I needed, because it didn't give me time to put things off.
Mm-hmm.
And that was important. So that all being said, I think that three sessions is good.
Okay.
I think also that it's a wonderful strategy to get people's juices and interest going,
Mm-hmm.
which then affords you the opportunity of providing more services. So I
Exactly.
would keep this as somewhat of a lost leader, if you would, that
Mm-hmm.
it's priced, the price point is one that really brings people in,
Yeah.
and then they go, wow, I could do that there. I need some help for this and this and all these other things,
Yeah.
which then can either be an advanced do it yourself or a do it Marlena
Mm-hmm.
um, effort. So those, I would use this as like your entry level, like you had
Yeah.
set up. It's really meant to just kind of encourage and inspire,
Uh-huh.
and then take it from there.
Excellent. And actually, that's been kind of my thinking, is kind of like this course could be like kind of like the low-hanging fruit that would get people jazzed and
Hmm.
excited and like, wow, I want to do more.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that would be very cool. And one of the things I have added to my services, thanks to the COVID, is remote staging. So this was also kind of a nice practice for me to like see how you guys could manipulate with FaceTime, and Helen, you and I had a chance to work on part of your room just using FaceTime. So that was
Hmm.
fun for me. It's
Hmm.
fun. It's not work.
Mm.
It's just fun. So I wanted to invite both of you, and I'll extend the invitation to Nikki also, is to go to my website, because my next thing would be to offer for you a free half-hour consultation for whatever is next for you in your projects, or whatever, however I can help on whatever is going on. And part of it is also kind of a selfish thing, because I just added, with all this remote staging, I just added a whole new section to my website on scheduler and all of that. So by having you guys
Wow.
go in, and I know it's like really official, by having you guys go in and schedule a free half-hour consult, then that'll get me triggered into this whole technology thing again. So
Hmm.
Okay.
um, the website is on your survey, and it's www.amazing-staging.com. So with that, I just want to thank you, ladies, so much for all that you brought to this course, and
Mm-hmm.
just your time, your effort, your energy, your money, all of that. It's just been fun. And I think that we should meet sometime in person
Hmm.
and just celebrate, just celebrate who we are and what we're up to, and sometimes we don't even know what we're up to. It just shows up and go, oh yeah, okay, this is cool.
Yeah. Can
So
I make another suggestion
yes,
for
please.
for this? I think 3 to 4 people is the perfect number.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
if we're only doing it in an hour, we each want to feel like we're getting a chance to be heard
Yeah.
and a chance to show what our challenges are and be
Yeah.
able to get feedback. I mean, Yvette's feedback last week was really helpful to me. Your feedback, Marlena, is always helpful, but we did that on calls. And I think if your group gets any larger than that, you've got to make the time longer, and whether or not people will commit to that length of time is, anybody's guess.
Yeah.
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 And you can try it out. Maybe 6 people would be an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe the first week was good. I mean, talk to us, inspire us, show us things. I made notes the first time about how inspirational you were, and that you showed pictures of things, and you talked about places you went to look for pictures, so that for me, I wasn't sitting here going, well, what am I gonna do? And trying to create and come up with it here, rather than tapping all the resources that without overwhelming us with all of the resources. But,
Okay.
it's like tickling us a little bit.
Yeah. Great feedback. Yeah. I do like the intimacy of a smaller group, and and so that has, I think, worked really well for this call, and everybody was respectful of each other's time, and nobody hogged the time. It was just like a nice balance. So yeah. All right. Awesome. Well,
So a consignment store trip, I think Yvette and I are up for it.
yeah, absolutely.
Time and place, and I'll be promptly with my responses next time. Having known
Let's
that
get this COVID thing out of, under our, out of the way, and let's just go do it. I love good consignment stores. Like I mentioned, I love a good deal.
Yeah.
And, as a home stager, you've got to have quality stuff. You can't put junk in somebody's place, but it's amazing what you find. And I just always feel so blessed. It's like when I find just something, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to use it for. It's just beautiful, and I know that I will use it somewhere, sometime, somehow.
I'm still looking for lamps for that bedroom,
Okay.
little pole lamp things or some, and I need a big lamp that, like probably a torchlier, that sends light up onto the ceiling. I've hid the light that I use in there behind the dresser's mirror. You can't see it. And that's a light switch when you first walk in, so it lightens up the room. But I need 2 bedside lamps.
Okay.
And I'm also still looking for nightstand tables. That's my quest. So if anybody sees anything, my email, you got my text, let me know.
Exactly. Yeah, we could be a resource for each other, especially if we're at a store and go, oh, take a picture, send it. Yeah.
Because we've got that good video
Yeah.
we're working on.
Have you been to the consignment store on Alhambra? It's next to the Chinese food place. I think it's called Shanghai Garden.
No.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
I bought a set of bookends, iron. These things are so heavy, and they're beautiful. Little branches with birds. I have them at work because I needed something to hold up my books.
Yeah.
And I have kind of like a little bird thing going on at work. I don't know how I did it, but anyhow, they have beautiful stuff there. But it's next to that. I think the Chinese food place is called Shanghai, but it's right there across the street from Sutter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful stuff in there. And the lady was so incredibly nice. But you might find, You might find some really neat stuff in there.
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. Great.
Have you
Okay.
ever, Marlena,
Yeah.
question, I've been meaning to ask you, do you ever look at or participate in the River City auction? Their weekly auctions that they have? I
No.
think they're doing them online right now. They've got lots of furniture and all sorts of stuff.
Mm.
They, some friends of mine have used them to decorate their whole house. You get,
Wow.
it's amazing some of the inexpensive deals that they have been able to get.
I love it.
You
I
said
love it.
River
I
City.
think it's called River City Auctions.
Okay. And it's online now. We take a look.
It's online, yeah. And I think the auction, they post things maybe on Tuesdays, and then the auction happens on Thursday or Friday, something like that.
Okay.
Well, there was an auction site too that you sent. I thought was similar like that, where they post photos. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's at Burns.
Oh, that's
Liquidators.
Burns. Mhm.
Burns
Oh,
Liquidators. Yeah.
I've never been to anything like that, like an
Yeah.
auction.
It is way cool. And like I mentioned, I usually go on Sundays because everything's 50% off.
Mm.
And I got some beautiful things there, just a brass headboard, even though that's kind of not in right now, but in some settings that I stage, it's just perfect. And just beautiful throw pillows and, just stuff that's in really good shape and very reasonable. Just very reasonable, especially if
Yeah,
it's
this is called River City Furniture Auction, and they're located at 5400 South Watt Avenue.
Oh,
okay.
And if you just Google that, and it'll have the information.
good to know.
And so I know it used to be a physical auction, I think on Fridays, I think was it. And now I'm not quite sure how they're doing it because they had too much outside patio furniture. I had to stop looking. Saying, oh, I could use that. Oh, I could use that. No, wait, I've got plenty. I don't need it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's new. Mine's 18, 20 years old.
And you're downsizing, so
Yeah, I know. So I'm not supposed to buy that stuff. I'm not going to buy that.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I will sell what I have and start new.
There you go.
My new house.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well,
Okay.
here we are. Thank you again for your time, extra time, and all your thoughts and ideas. I'm so glad we can be a resource for each other and just kind of keep it going.
Thanks,
All
Marlena.
righty. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
to
you.
see you, Yvette.
Likewise, Helen. Have a great week.
You
You as
too.
well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let's see. Show video. 8 minutes. Okay. There we go.